Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever.
I think I just uncovered the Democrats' October surprise in July for this election cycle, and you've got to see what I found. This time they're using Project 2025 as their hit piece. What's funny is the last time they tried to do this, it took years to unravel who was responsible for it in 2016. Now it only took me a few hours. I hope you can help me spread this. This is important. They're lying and gaslighting you, the American people, because they know they're going to lose the election. Do you remember back in 2016 when Hillary Clinton pushed out Steele dossier, the Trump-Russian collusion hoax? Do you remember who was behind that? An organization called Perkins Coie, who was led by a guy by the name of Mark Elias. Mark Elias is one of the most scandalous, disgusting, rotten Democrat operatives, an election interference specialist, really. He drove that hoax. But you won't believe what I just found Mark Elias doing with Project 2025. So it didn't make sense to me why all of a sudden Project 2025 was running all over the internet and the propaganda artists were creating an enormous amount of propaganda around it. And what was more important is I've actually read most of the documents. So almost everything that I was hearing about Project 2025 from the left didn't make sense because it wasn't in the document. Well, I found the answer. This is an almost 50-page document put together by an organization called Democracy Forward. If you're interested in who they are, you should go take a look because it's littered with some of the most far-left radical propagandists that I've ever come across. And if you go through this document, you're going to notice that every one of the politically charged talking points that you've been hearing on this platform and others come from here. The idea that Project 2025 is going to ban contraception comes from here. The idea that Project 2025 is going to destroy the environment comes from here. The idea that Project 2025 is going to allow slavery to be re-implemented comes from here. Problem? None of that is actually in Project 2025. And here's a perfect example. This is one section where it talks about how Project 2025 is going to eliminate a concept called disparate treatment theory, which is used to fight against discrimination. And they twist it to suggest that it's going to be used to allow us to go back to a period pre-1965. The problem, even the citation on this article is wrong. If you go to page 72, chapter 3, it doesn't talk at all about the disparate impact theory. In fact, it talks about merit theory. So they're lying. And every one of the talking points, it's here. So I decided to check who's responsible for this, and what do I find at the very top? The chair of Democracy Forward, Mark Elias. You know, the same Mark Elias who's responsible for bankrolling the Steele dossier, the same Mark Elias that the DNC had to fire for lying to a court and to a special counsel, and the same Mark Elias that the Fifth Circuit Court had to sanction for filing false motions. And yes, the same Mark Elias who was responsible for the drop boxes and the violating of state election law all around the country in 2020, that same guy who created the Russian hoax in 2016, an election interference specialist that the Democrat Party turns to when they need to interfere in election, is responsible for that. And that, my friends, is what is being used to destroy the Donald Trump campaign, just like they did in 2016. They take a lie, they put it into the media. It's called a wrap-up smear.
You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made.
That's how it's done. And that's what they're doing right now.
The truth about Project 2025. I will show you a post from Donald Trump himself from his platform. We know mainstream media won't push this. I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who is behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck. But I have nothing to do with them. Project 2025 spokesperson. As we've been saying for more than 2 years now, Project 2025 does not speak for any candidate or campaign. We are a coalition of more than 110 conservative groups advocating policy and personnel recommendations for the next conservative president. Now I will show you what narrative mainstream media is pushing heavy after the Trump and Biden debate.
The architect of the 2025? Yes, because everyone has been talking about it. And
the mission statement for Project 2025 is a plan.
The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up.
I'm sure you noticed the narrative shift. Project 2025 is being used as a political weapon by mainstream media actors and leftist content creators. What is a PSYOP? PSYOP is an acronym for Psychological Operations, which is a U.S. military term that refers to campaigns that aim to influence an adversary's state of mind. PSYOPs are usually non-combative and can involve conveying information to audiences to influence their behavior, motives, and reasoning. The goal is to ultimately influence the behavior of governments, organizations, groups, and large foreign powers.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely dangerous to our...
Who is the real threat?
Yeah, the question was about Project 2025. So it was authored by an outside group called the Heritage Foundation, not part of the Trump campaign. Has some good ideas, has some really wacky ideas in it. And now Trump is being blamed for every single part of it. So let me tell you what this would be like. This would be like if a group of Democrat think tank operatives would put together a suggestion of what they think Kamala Harris should do in a second term. They call it Project 2025. Kamala Harris doesn't know about it, and then all of a sudden she has to defend it, if that makes sense.
And we begin tonight with damning new video from a former Trump cabinet member and key Project 2025 architect.
I have a prepared opening statement that I'll get into in just a second, but Ranking Member Raskin, you reiterated and have created a boogeyman that just isn't there. I did author the EPA chapter on Project 2025, but in the course of that, I did not work with President Trump, with any of the people who work for him directly or his campaign. And it is very misleading to suggest that there's any coordination there, because I can personally tell you it did not happen. And I am not vying for a position in the next administration. I've actually left D.C. and I've moved to a small town in Mississippi where I interact every day with people who live outside this bubble of gaslighting and misleading. And they actually are dealing with the consequences caused by policy decisions of this administration that isn't defined by progress, but defined by creating unnecessary hardship. I understand why it's hard to think about the political realm prior to President Trump, but the Heritage Foundation has been very involved in pushing forward conservative policies for quite a while. And the Mandate for Leadership, the latest iteration, it's the 9th edition. This is a project that has been put out every few years since 1981.
So I know a lot of y'all is still very much so hung up on this Project 2025, and y'all using it to get views, to push content, and to also fearmonger. Yet still, until this day, we have yet to hear Trump say anything about it. And me being with a Gemini and having a father who is a Gemini, and one of my favorite artists is also a Gemini. Matter of fact, three of my favorite artists are also Gemini. One thing I know about them is they stand on business. And if they are for something, they are behind something, you best to know that they're going to talk about it. While y'all sitting here still making it seem as if Project 2025 is something that's going to be put in law by Trump, I'm going to need you all to go to his actual website and check out Agenda 47. because that actually has Trump's face on it. That's actually plans that he plans to implement if he should get in office. There's some really good shit in there. They're actually talking about, things going on with the cartel. They talk about possibly dismantling the police because we know that they ain't really been doing the best job when it comes to police in our neighborhood. I even read about the fact that they're going to get rid of welfare for these illegal migrants that are just taking it. I don't know if y'all know this, but I got a friend who actually work in the welfare to be talking about when it comes to politics, when it comes to protecting the American people and their assets. So since y'all want to get on here and y'all want to constantly talk about a 920-page document that you know damn well you didn't even read, y'all can go ahead and go to his website. It don't take much to read it. In fact, he got a video for every single one of them. That way you ain't got to lie about reading a 920-page document knowing damn well the last book you probably read was Cat in the Hat. Just saying.
What you got to say about Project 2025?
Have you heard of Agenda 47? Say what? Agenda 47.
Nah.
It's the actual platform that Trump is going to push when he becomes president. It's listed on his official campaign website. Project 2025 is not to be found there. Matter of fact, Project 2025 was created by a conservative think tank named the Heritage Foundation.
It's supposed to make it illegal to be
Has
homeless.
nothing to do with Trump. Trump has neither endorsed nor supported this platform. He has his own.
But I saw on BET.
I don't care what any Hollywood elite or BET Awards show hosted by Taraji P. Henson have told you about Project 2025. It is not a talking point of President Trump's campaign, nor is it something that he's interested in. It's just another tool to fearmonger you and to just continue to vote for the same people over and over again and never breaking the cycle of chaos that we see within the black community. Once again, just look at the decades long of Democrat control over black cities.
Uncle Tom.
It makes sense, man. But listen, do you? Be mad at what you want to be mad at, but you ain't mad at Trump.
Man, shut up, coon.
Nonsense. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025.
I have nothing to do with Project 2025. I haven't read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas. I guess some good, some bad. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before.
When I tell you this man is so strong, this man is just right for our country. It makes me want to vote.
Oh my God, people. You cannot make this up. Mickey Edwards, the Heritage Foundation trustee, endorsed Kamala Harris. Now, if you don't know about Heritage Foundation and Project 2025, Heritage Foundation is a think tank, and they are the ones that are responsible for Project 2025. Kamala Harris, I don't know what they're going to do because they spent all this money, $370 million, on trying to tie Trump to this Project 2025. And now the trustee of Heritage Foundation, the people responsible for it, just came out and said, I'm endorsing Kamala Harris. You can't make this up, people.
The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up.
Let's see what you liberals have to say now that a founding trustee of the Heritage Foundation who wrote Project 25 openly endorses Kamala Harris. So is she pro Project 25 now? Yeah, I want to hear you liberals justify that.
Jesus Christ.
I thought Project 2025 was evil. You know what? Before we continue, shing, sparkle, sparkle. Donald Trump, you look fabulous. But yeah, I thought Project 2025 was how Donald Trump was gonna take over the world. Oh, but wait, the Heritage Foundation, which that's the people who are behind Project 2025, the people who made Project 2025. They came out and said that Donald Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Kamala Ding-Dong Word Salad and booger-eating dementia puppet Joe have been screaming forever that Donald Trump is Project 2025, and Project 2025 is going to be the end of the world. Donald Trump, Project 2025, Trumpocalypse. Well, guess who endorsed Kamala Ding Dong Word Salad? Project 2025. Me and DJT find that very interesting. I gotta say, you look good with the filter. I didn't think you could get better looking, but that filter, fabulous. Oh, that's right. Only the sheeple believe anything that Kamala Ding Dong Word Salad and booger-eating Dementia Puppet Joe have to say. But the real patriots, we look for the facts and the truth. And most of us get banned, shadow banned, and punished for speaking the truth. But we know that DJT has nothing to do with Project 2025, and Kamala Ding Dong is being backed by Project 2025. And the real patriots, we will be voting for Trump 2024, people.
Well, guess who just got endorsed by the Heritage Foundation? Your girl Kamala Harris, okay? Now keep in mind, for the longest, everybody had been running around talking about Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. He's going to initiate Project 2025 and the whole nine, okay? But guess who got the endorsement from them? Kamala Harris. Now, I'm not sure if you guys do your research or not, but if you go back and do your research, you will find out that when Biden stepped down as president of the United States, they are the ones who orchestrated all of this. They are the ones who put all this stuff into place to make sure things ran as smoothly as they wanted it to go. I also believe that they are the ones who wanted Kamala Harris in place because they knew that she was going to be the one who would actually initiate Project 2025. They was just telling you guys that Donald Trump was going to do it so you could look that way while she was doing whatever she had to do over this way, okay? Now, the question of the day is this. Since everybody was saying they're not voting for Donald Trump because he was initiating Project 2025, but this woman over here just recently got the endorsement, who are you voting for now? Are you still voting for Kamala Harris or not?
Remember, everybody was yelling, Trump Project 25, Project 25. Guess who just endorsed Harris? The people from Project 25.
The breaking news is Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025. Sure, a lot of us have worked in the admin and came together, but this started long before he even announced for president.
And better. I've recently discovered that Mickey Edwards of the Heritage Foundation just endorsed Kamala Harris. Now, the first thing I thought of when I read this is, why would a career Republican endorse left-leaning radical Kamala Harris?
Hey, God.
So I actually missed this in the news. There was an article that came out about it. But Mickey Edwards, and if you don't know who he is, look him up, gave Kamala his endorsement. What do y'all have to say about that one?
Good morning, everybody. Jeremy Harrell, LFA TV here. We have got some bombshell breaking news. Mickey Edwards, aka Marvin Edwards, the founding trustee of the Heritage Foundation, just endorsed Kamala Harris for president. You can't make this up. He penned a scathing op-ed or a piece in the Philadelphia Inquirer about Donald Trump, saying how he can't be trusted, how he only has his own self-interest, he doesn't put America first. But again, this is just indicative of what the Democratic Party and what the left and what the radicals on the left do. They project what they're doing. They project the problems they are having. They project all of the things that we accuse them of because we see them doing it onto us, so that the ignorant portion of the population will actually believe it for when the time comes for the truth to come out, they'll just go, well, that's just you guys trying to pass the buck. No, they do this all the time. Remember, when you're pointing a finger at somebody, you have three pointed back at you, and nobody points the finger more than the Democratic Party. So they're always saying Donald Trump is, Project 2025 is Donald Trump. It's the brainchild of Donald J. Trump, which couldn't be further from the truth. They've admitted it. He's admitted it. He says, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. The Heritage Foundation says Donald Trump is not the author of this. We are. This was being authored far, far before President Trump even said he was running for president again. And again, their original trustee, their founding trustee, Mickey, a.k.a. Marvin Edwards, just endorsed Kamala Harris. So run with that, folks. This is true. Look it up. He just did it over the weekend. That's right. The Heritage Foundation founding trustee and Project 2025 just endorsed Kamala Harris.
This is war. Pick your...
Here are 3 common misconceptions about Project 2025. A few months ago, I did a video discussing a right-wing plan to reshape the government called Project 2025. At that time, not a lot of people had heard about it. As the election draws nearer, more and more people are now talking about it, and misinformation and misconceptions are running rampant. So these are the 3 most common issues that I have with the way that Project 2025 is being discussed. Number 1, I don't see what the big deal is. Project 2025 is already here. Project 2025 is not already here. Now, the Heritage Foundation, which is responsible for Project 2025, has been putting out their so-called Mandate for Leadership manifestos since the first Reagan presidency. Project 2025 is just the most recent one. There will presumably be another one in 4 years. The Heritage Foundation is a right-wing policy think tank that's not an official part of the government. They can't set policy, they can only make recommendations.
So look what I found. An interview with Barack Obama, the great Barack Obama, with Vice President Joe Biden under him. They used the Heritage Foundation, incorporated some of their ideas into Obamacare. And he admits it in this interview. That would be the same Heritage Foundation that came up with Project 2025 that the Democrats are telling you Donald Trump is going to
the bill itself. It incorporates all sorts of Republican ideas.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of commentators have said, yeah, this is sort of similar to the bill that Mitt Romney, the Republican governor and now presidential candidate, passed in Massachusetts.
Okay.
A lot of the ideas in terms of the exchange, just being able to pool and improve the purchasing power of individuals in the insurance market, that originated from the Heritage Foundation. 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 That. Yeah, you know this is Johnson.
Today we're exposing Donald Trump's Project 2025. So Project 2025 has been going pretty viral, rightfully so, because it's being latched to the Donald Trump campaign. Now, it is worth mentioning that the Heritage Foundation has nothing to do with Donald Trump and never has. The Heritage Foundation is the organization that created the Project 2025. Now, for those that's watching, you might wonder, how is it being linked to Donald Trump? Well, let's see. Democrats are being pretty disingenuous, to be honest, just to say the least. They first starting with a rhetoric that Donald Trump has something to do with Project 2025, and not only that, they're claiming that it's his actual platform. What did Democrats do? Well, yesterday, Joe Biden created a website link called Donald Trump's Project 2025, which, kind of shockingly, it leads right to joebiden.com. So they created a propaganda website that you click on that says Donald Trump's project2025.com. You click on it, you'll see the URL redirects to joebiden.com, and it'll even say paid by Joe Biden. Now, if Trump was linked to Project 2025, why would it take this large of a mental gymnasium? I don't know. But I digress. Outside of that, you also have the heritagefoundation.com. So we'll go down the list. You have right here heritagefoundation.org. This is not a Donald Trump company. This organization can have as many members as they want, and they can push any rhetoric that they want, but it doesn't mean that it stands with Donald J. Trump. So, like this, I'll say in layman terms, if Donald Trump was to hire me, or if I was to work with this campaign in any way, I have my own brand called Break the Narratives Network. Anything I do with BTNN has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It doesn't matter if I'm affiliated with Trump in any way. If Donald Trump doesn't stamp it, if Donald Trump doesn't put his name beside it, it has nothing to do with him.
Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video entertaining and you received any kind of enjoyment from watching it, please subscribe, share it with others, hit that notification bell, and most importantly, don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment. It truly makes a difference. YouTube's algorithms thrive on engagement, and your support ensures these videos reach a wider audience. It's worth mentioning that YouTube doesn't directly compensate creators like me for content. So if you'd like to support the channel, consider making a donation through the Cash App provided above. Your donations will go towards me having the time to create more videos for your enjoyment. Now, with all that being said, peace, and thank you for being a part of the Surviving the Fuckery community.